Hey Taurus, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works and we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength on this reading, go ahead and check your other major placements, see if you can't find something else there. And apparently, even if I do catch your wavelength on this reading, you still might find something else over there too. So check it out if you want, or not if you don't want. And then at the end of the reading, I will be posting pictures of the cards that we drew so that you can check those out. All right, Taurus. We're starting with the Oracle Mystical Moments deck for an intuitive vibe on this. All right, what are the cards? That's too many, I can't do that. Okay. On the top of that pile of about 15 cards was a card that deals with something from the past that's preventing us from embracing a new beginning. So just FYI, maybe some depression or just something from the past that we're not quite over yet. That's so that was the top card. Kind of wish I would have taken it, but then it's just never ending. Then I see the card underneath and the card underneath and the card underneath, and then pretty soon the whole deck is relevant, but the whole deck is kind of relevant. All right, let's get going. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we have transformation here. You've changed somehow. This is not like the full, we haven't fully finished changing. These wings still need the blood pumped into them. But something in your heart has changed. You might be looking back at who you used to be. You might be, your thoughts are maybe a little more organized now, a little clearer, a little better, a little easier to handle. And you might be looking back at where you've come from. But you know that, I mean, this is sort of the implied underbelly of a transformation, is that you came from something into this. So you're really feeling your transformation right now. You're really seeing how you've changed. And looking back at the past, at the cocoon that you emerged from, about who you used to be, what you used to be about. And this might have to do with some sense of self-worth, some sense of value or purpose, something like that. But you're looking back, you're taking a moment to appreciate where you've been and how far you've come about this. So transformation, you've changed. Was that self-directed change or just life changing you, Because the caterpillar goes into that. The caterpillar, I wonder if the caterpillar feels like, you know what? I believe it's time for me to build a cocoon. I don't necessarily feel like building a cocoon right now, but I'm going to force myself to do it. Or if the caterpillar is like, I want to build a cocoon. That sounds like so much fun. Oh my gosh. Like, is it a natural change or is it like a change they impose on themselves? Is the caterpillar full of shoulds? I should build this cocoon even though I don't really want to. Or is the caterpillar like, man, nothing would satisfy me more than cocooning up here. And then you change. So I don't know. Hopefully the caterpillar enjoys that process. I have no idea where that came from. That's one reason I love tarot, is the thoughts that come into my mind while reading these cards are just, where do they come from? I don't know. I did not know that I was going to be impersonating a caterpillar contemplating his cocoon today. So it amuses me. And then, so, I'm amusing myself here at least, right? And hopefully the caterpillar and your transformation was all part of something that you love to do, and it brought you to this place of transformation. So I think that's what we're talking about here, is about something that you really wanted to do, that really called to you, and it ended up actually changing a fundamental part of who you were in a way that you weren't necessarily aware that you were heading into. So that's pretty cool. So you're somewhere along that process of building the cocoon, and it's bringing you great joy to build this cocoon, or emerging as a butterfly, being like, I had no idea the cocoon was going to lead there. My goodness, I was just doing something I liked. So, so you've changed and you've transformed. And then we have the protective nest here. So you have ideas that you're very protective of, and you also have sort of something in reality that you're extremely protective of too. The thing about eggs is if they are broken open from the outside before their time, there is something going on here about timing, and between these two cards, I don't, like, where did that caterpillar monologue come from? But then I'm getting this vibe here and it's a similar message here as far as like things need to happen in their own time. If we break an egg from the outside, we kill it. But with whatever's inside, whatever's growing. But when that thing is ready to, it emerges. When it's hungry for the next step, when it's hungry for, when the caterpillar is ready to build the cocoon, it builds the cocoon. You can't just take a caterpillar and stuff it into a cocoon and be like, now transform, because I said so, because it's time. And that's the same with this egg stuff. So there's something here that's on its own timeline. You're very protective of it, and you want it to emerge, and you want it, but it has to emerge on its own. How long are you going to be incubating this? I don't know how long, but it's got to be something that comes out when it's ready. You can't just cut open a cocoon and expect this to come out. I mean, that's a really messy process, and it's done when it's done. And so you're protecting something until the time where it's done and it's ready and it wants to emerge, and it feels that joy in emerging, and that rush of life as it comes forward and cracks out of this egg, hungry for the next step. Because that's how any bird or the food in the egg, it's no longer there. There's no longer any food, and it's hungry. It's hungry for the next thing, and that's what causes it to start chipping away at the shell, and then the shell breaks. Does the bird know it's breaking out of the shell, or is it just looking for food in the way that it knows how to look for food, which is to hammer at the ground or at anything, and peck away at something. So, and then that causes it to emerge. So there's something about some sort of timing and the joy of life here, and the joy of life leading you just continuously to your next step and your next step and your next step, and maybe not being able to see where the whole thing is going. But this egg, whatever's in this egg, and it's gonna hatch. We've been incubating it very carefully. This is a very protective nest, very, very motherly sort of, a good motherly sort of test, not mommy dearest mothering, but very protective of ideas and whatever, and you're just waiting for something to emerge, and it has to emerge in its own timing and of its own accord, and to force it is to kill it. So and there's something really that we're waiting for, some sort of a joy, to some sort of desire to come in and make this process natural and feel good and full of life and liveliness. So hungry for the next step, not forcing the next step. All right, Taurus. So your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Fascinating. Okay, in your recent past, you have the artist card. Oh my God, that's cool. Okay, just like my mom, sometimes I'm like, I should really read ahead, and then when I do, I'm like, no, we're not there yet. We got to take this step by step. This is the artist card. This is being very focused on something, very focused maybe on your path and what you're bringing to the world and what you want to accomplish. You're looking at reality. Look at how they're mimicking each other, and that's really a lot of what an artist does, is mimicking reality, but bringing their own stamp to it and their own individuality to it. So you're observing something, but you're also being creative, and it's a creative dance that we do with reality, this artist card. So, here's the tree he's observing, creating an intimacy that's hard to come by with anything else. When you're creative, when you're creating something, whatever you're doing, whether it's drawing or writing something, the intimacy you create with that work is hard to replicate in other areas of life. Anyway, so he's going to draw this tree, but he's picking his perspective. He's picking his tools that he's gonna convey the tree with. So there's a little bit about just conveying your idea of reality and what you see and how you see the world, and what your interpretation is. And it's a close relationship, close observation, and yet bringing a creative mark and a creative stamp here. In your present situation, we have 4 of Swords. This is the pause, the nap card. It's a little bit of a regrouping for the next step card. It's a little bit of, which we've got these eggs in the nest here. So I'm almost wondering if we should have done these cards reversed, where you're emerging later, because right now we have sort of the eggs in the nest, preparing for the future. You're going to wake up from the nap. And wake up when it comes time. This could be illness, this could be sickness that you might have, and causing you to have to take a break from things, to stay home. This could also be just needing a nap, a break, or this could be an externally applied break going on here. But you can use the time to rest. Rest is a crucial part of preparation. We rest up for the morning, rest up for the next day, so that we can hit the next day with our best selves and all of our energy intact and not depleted by watching maybe a TV show till 2 o'clock in the morning. And then this is also a time for preparation. I mean, you can be planning, like this is a soldier. The 4 of Swords is about a soldier who comes back from battle. He survives. Before he left, he made his coffin and for his parents, so that they wouldn't have to deal with that. But there sits his coffin. So he takes a little nap in his coffin. So there's a little bit of resurrection, but this is the pause before the resurrection. In order to resurrect, we have to die first, right? So I don't make the rules. That's just what that word means. So there's a mini death here. A mini sickness can be a mini death. A nap, sleeping is a mini death until we sleep forever, you know. So there's some sort of like resting in peace for a little while going on here, but it's not the end of the line. It's just a pause. It's just a pause. What's going on internally? You might be afraid of some revelations, some truths coming in and dethroning things, upsetting the apple cart, dumping your life out. You could be having internal epiphanies. This is like 200 epiphanies at once, just kind of electrifying your mind, deposing the mind habits and the mind ruts and the self-talk that's been there for a long time, and sort of deposing whoever's been on whatever energy's been on the throne in your psyche for a long time here. So you could be everybody's worried about a tower moment, about things crashing down and coming apart. This card always has the dawn or something like that in the background to remind us that this is the sun always rises again. At least for the next trillion years, it's scheduled to rise again every single day. So good things come in again, and the tower moment is about crashing, falling apart, taking apart the pieces. This is your Lego tower that you built, and maybe, and then your little brother comes in, smashes it, and but you're going to build something new with the Legos, right? And something more stable, more interesting, something slightly better with those Legos. Your next tower will be better, but it's just things got to get rearranged. And you might be really worried about that, though, because it isn't a shocking, unpleasant experience. Oftentimes we start with the realization that we've been wrong about something. And we've misjudged something, we haven't seen something clearly, and that's always very disrupting because it's just like, oh my gosh, where is my solid ground? What do I know? What can I stand on here? So what can I rely on? So you're either afraid of this tower moment, of something falling apart completely. You want to be very protective of something. There's something you're protecting, and you're worried about it. Revelations coming out, things crashing to the ground, things being revealed that are going to rock your world and everybody's world. You're very concerned about that. Or it is happening on an internal level where you're having a lot of realizations that maybe what you thought wasn't correct, or what you thought to be true isn't correct, and it's rocking your world quite a bit, changing, transforming. I mean, the tower is a very transformative moment that can feel very unpleasant, but I mean, we're going here. So, you know, maybe the caterpillar is like so happy to build the cocoon. It feels so good. Yes, this is what I was meant to do. I was meant to do this thing with this thread that comes out of my asshole, and I was meant to make it into something. And then he gets in the cocoon, he finally shuts it, and then he turns to goo, and he's like, wait. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. And so it could be a bit of this going on, like turning to goo and being like, wait. That's not what I meant to do by making this tower, by making this cocoon. I did not mean for that to happen. But at that point, the transformations are completely out of our control, which brings us to your issue here. What's that issue is control. There could be someone here who's being very controlling, very much in charge, a puppet master, controlling strings. This could be you. This could be something in your environment. You're not in control, or there could be a wrestling over control. Who is in control? Maybe if this is like a truth and a revelation here, who's in control of that truth? Who's in control of that revelation? Who gets to talk about it? You know, you might be worried about something being revealed that you don't want to be revealed, and it's not, the ball is not in your court. Somebody else has it. This is about a very controlling presence, a very controlling energy, the puppet master energy. The emperor reversed. The emperor upright is in control of things, but he's also got concern for his whole empire, right? And for everyone beneath him, and he's working, the ball's in his court. He gets to make all these decisions, but there's a presumption of some level of benevolence. He doesn't want, who would want his empire to completely fall apart? But a lot of times when people are very insecure, they come in with this super controlling energy. It's based in insecurity, and not in any kind of actual like security. So something here, there's some extremely insecure energy that is creating a control issue. I don't think this is the first time you've gotten this card in the last month, but there's some sort of controlling energy. Someone is micromanaging, pulling strings, controlling other people through nefarious means. It's a bad energy. I don't think, you know, it could be you, it could be somebody else. You know, but I mean, the underlying concept is that it's based on insecurity. That doesn't really help how you deal with it a lot. I mean, if it's you, then you've got to deal with your own insecurities, which could be coming in here like this. If it's somebody else, there's not anything you can do about their insecurities. Don't placate them if they're controlling. You don't. That's not. I mean, pick your battles, but so you can placate at times, but don't let this energy like rule you, whether it's coming from you or coming from somebody else. But it is tricky because you can't change someone else's sense of insecurity. Sometimes people try and be like, okay, they're just feeling insecure. I can maybe help. Probably not, because it's a real internal job. And everything you do externally may be misrepresented. I don't know how you fix that. But anyway, somebody here is insecure in a way that's causing them to overreact with controlling, puppet master, manipulative, micromanagement behavior. And so we have the Wheel of Fortune. Your luck is something external is happening here. This wheel is shifting and turning. It's almost like like a safe, like a lock on a safe, and this wheel is turning. So luck is, something's changing, a door is opening, a combination is being discovered. There's something in your environment that's going to change your luck. So if you've been very lucky, this is going to change things, but it does not look like you have been exceedingly lucky here. So so this could be these eggs cracking open, safe cracking, right? The safe cracking open kind of thing. It could be, you know, because that's something that's out of your control. And luck often feels like it's out of our control. It is, we do need to be prepared to meet luck. So just about every lucky person you meet, they met luck somehow. You know, yeah, they got lucky to get offered that job, but did they prepare for the job? Were they ready for the job? Had they been, maybe they hadn't been planning on that job, but had they been doing some level of work that was going to allow them to accept that lucky moment and that opportunity that came in? There are many jobs that if they were offered to me, I could not take because I have not any. Why would you want me to do that? Like, I have never done that a day in my life. I just wouldn't be ready. So the opportunity could be there, but no one would bring it up to me. And I certainly wouldn't go fill out an application for that because I wouldn't perceive myself as having an ability to do that. I mean, I guess, or, you know, connected to the people that know that. I mean, there's just a lot of ways to prepare for luck. So, but this is luck changing. It's something going on in your environment. You're not in control of it, much like the opening of these eggs. You're not in control of this change, but hopefully you are positioning yourself to take advantage of some sort of change. Could be this controlling energy moving on and allowing your luck to change because this has been sitting on top of it for a while. If that's external to you, or even if you like can let go a little bit, even if this controlling energy, micromanagement energy is you, if you can let go a little bit, it loosens things up, everything, and then things even external and seemingly unrelated can change. Your to-do list is 6 of Cups. This is a lovely reconnection with somebody from your past, a lovely memories. Your job is to go down memory lane, to get nostalgic for some sort of loving, open, creative communication, possibly with an old friend from your childhood, possibly with a sibling. I see these as siblings, but loving, creative, openly creative. Remember like when you were little and it was just like, oh, and then my car does this, and then the other person was like, and my car does this, and you like played together. No one was ashamed, no one was embarrassed about their creativity or their idea. And typically, I mean, if you were playing with the good neighbors, it was like, you know, you could just kind of flow in that play. No one was like, no, your car can't go there. That's not, but this is a really pleasant memory, someone from your past coming in. So actually, maybe you need to go look up someone from your past, go reconnect with someone from your past, or at least go back to your childhood home, or go look at a memory and go pull out a photo album and enjoy, if we still have those. Go look at some photos of a happier time and a time of deep connection. You're supposed to be going back and remembering that time, remembering maybe that time when you first started your transformation, or before this pause or this break. Like, what took you down this path? What was the joy and the pleasure that made you want to start building the cocoon? Where's that joy? And returning back to what initially started you off on this path, your initial inspiration. I'm seeing this artist card here back in the day. Maybe you need to go back and remember what this vision was like, what it was like to connect with your art like that, what it was like to feel creative and connected like that. What made you start out on this transformation journey? That kind of thing. I was going to say what made you lay eggs, but I don't know if that was just amusing. Because those eggs just come whether you're laying them or not. But just something back there is you're supposed to go back into the past, find some pleasant memories, find some sort of maybe initial inspiration, because you're going to be waking up from this nap. So that's your to-do list, is find that original, I think, inspiration from your past. And then you're going to wake up from this nap and you're not going to be refreshed, but you still got to keep fighting and you got to keep going. This is the 9 of Wands. Continue, you fight on. You've got this head injury, you're feeling very tired, you're feeling weak, but you've got to keep going with this inspired journey that you have. Okay, you start, and this is why you've got to go back and find your original inspiration, what you originally wanted to do, because this is where you have to go. You have to go back out there. So you've been in the hospital, you've been taking a nap, you've had some realizations, you've had to deal with some control freaky energy, micromanagement energy. You've had some realizations, some understandings. Your luck is changing. You need to go back Get re-inspired to what you wanted before this nap and this whole timeout situation, and go back and fight for what you believe in. Even though you are still going to be tired, you're still going to be wounded, you're still going to be hurt, you got to go back out there with your wand, with your inspiration, with your ideas and your visions, and you have to continue fighting for them. Even though you kind of don't want to. You kind of would like to keep napping. All right, Taurus. So I hope that was anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it's helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscribes. I really do appreciate them. Thank you. Have a great week.